viewers, and welcome to my first hands-on F1 2013 then, and where better to start than in one of the classic edition cars. Here I am driving in, as I understand it, this is Nigel Mansell's 88 Williams turbo powered action, lots of power, and so it's a case of getting used to the car. This is around the old Jerez circuit, so for me it's just a case of learning the circuit. It's almost like a new circuit because there's so many changes. It just made the circuit a lot more complex. And so first, just bear in mind I had no audio when I was making this, so this first video you're going to see is with just automatic gears and just going round and round, and then really just finding out where the pace is, where to brake, what the handling is like to an extent. There were some issues that sort of made that difficult to pick up on, and I'll come back to those in another video. But the game itself, firstly visually, very impressive. You're seeing it here running on an Xbox 360. When I first saw it, first walked in, it looked like a PC game. It looked the actual, especially the 2013 season, they've really refined the graphics now. They're really maximising the power of the Xbox 360 to get a lot out of it. What's nice here straight away is the HUD. You can see not only do they have the classic cars, but they also have a classic HUD as well, so that matches what you'd have seen on the BBC TV at the time, and there's a change in the visual hue to it. So it's nice feel, nice look. Now this car is quite tricky to drive. If you go too slow, it oversteers quite a lot, and then it quickly goes from that to understeer in a corner. So finding the balance of how much speed you can carry through a corner will take a bit of time, take a few laps getting used to. And obviously, as I say, if I had the audio there, it'd certainly make it a little bit easier as well. But you'll see that in later videos. I turn the sound up and then it's much easier to play. So learning my way around the circuit, I've turned off the assists to get a feel for it, understand how to control the power, and really just going from there. It's just about putting in the laps, finding the line, how much speed can you carry through these corners, how can you maximise your pace. So I make a mistake into that tricky final corner again. You just need to pick your braking point. I haven't found the braking point for that yet. Obviously turn 1 is uphill, so a little bit later in the session I changed view. Currently the view change wasn't working on the wheel. You have to pause the game to change view, but that'll all be fixed in the final game. I think it was more a wheel issue than it was the game. And so here it just gives me another viewpoint, better point of view to see the upcoming corners and where I am in terms of where the apexes are, how late the apexes are in some corners, and straight away I'm a little bit quicker now. So first thing I do is when I go along to an event and I see a new racing game is, well, sit down and do lots of laps, and then I can give you guys a more informed opinion on it once I've done that. So you're not going to be perfect from the off. It's going to be, like you say, a lot of late braking in the corners. You brake early, you brake late, you understeer, you oversteer, and eventually you put all that together, and after a few practice sessions you'll be running perfect laps. I like the feel of it. I like these cars. I could do laps in these cars all day. I don't know why. It's just the feel. This for me was a fantastic era of Formula 1. Fantastic drivers. The cars were still highly mechanical despite having traction control bits and pieces on there. It certainly wasn't anything like the computerized systems they turned into. A bit of dirt on my tyres. And this is the process. We haven't used Jerez for a long time. Last time we used it was in '97, but of course that wasn't this variation of the track. That was the current one that we use now. You saw the incident with Michael Schumacher connecting with Jacques Villeneuve. Now into the Lotus, doing a few laps in that as well. Just seeing how the handling differs really between the different cars. It's nice to have a comparison. Again, it's difficult when you don't have the audio to just hear when the car's sliding and stuff like that. There's just little audio cues that are really handy. I hear now watching this version. The audio, I would point out, is not direct. It's actually via a mic, so it actually removes a lot of the bass from the actual audio. So that's why I wouldn't run an audio only video without me talking across the top. You've got to put up with me, viewers, as we take to another lap. How many laps have we been doing here now? About 5 laps. I think I do about 8 or 9 laps on each circuit. Oh, again, oversteering through there. You see, I want to go through there flat, but I don't want to fly off completely off the other corner. And then you stamp on the brakes for this section. It's not slower than you expect. Quickly on the power again. It's almost a lift, really. And so you see I was oversteering then because I was trying to anticipate a braking point. You can carry a lot of speed through here, but it's either needle stuff, and you need to get the handling nice and comfortable to do that perfectly. It's much easier when you're playing this at home. It's one of those games that when you attend a launch event like this and you've got a limited amount of time on the machine, you want to really maximize it and discover all the limits, if you like. You're not going to find speed if you're just taking it easy around the track. You've got to explore it. This is a very slow corner. It's a lot slower than I was expecting, so you've really got to come right out the power, gently get on the power through the next exit, otherwise the car will just spin out. Carry a lot of speed through here, but again, I haven't quite got it right, but I'm understanding there's a lot of speed to find now, so I'm trying to find the apex for it. Again here, this is one way and then the other way, mid-apex, you're actually turning away from the corner, so I'm getting on the power, car swerving around a bit, trying to keep my foot down. Again, I've mentioned it before, that moment of comfort where you have traction. These cars are moving around a lot more now than we've seen in previous games. Trying to find the speed. I'm still oversteering on the corners. What does that tell me? It tells me that I'm turning in too much and I'm lifting too much into the corner. So that tells you there's more speed to find. Remember, you're always controlling your steering with the power. So, you know, if you're oversteering, you can often give a bit more power to help the understeer of the car push you out round the corner. So this is where these cars are slightly different to drive from, say, the modern F1 cars, because these you really are going to need to work out how to control the power a bit more and getting the car around neatly and in maximising your time and your grip and everything else. But that was a quick few laps of Jerez. Hope you enjoyed those. There are many other Formula 1 bits and pieces on the channel. You have the trailers for the new tracks and showing off the new 2013 cars. You have the developer interview, plus laps of Silverstone and Suzuka as well. And in a similar way, I'm exploring the limits of the racetrack. But as ever, there'll be more from me very soon.